For 7 months in 1904, the St. Louis World's Fair, officially known as the Louisiana Purchase Exposition, was the center of world attention. Just under 20 million people visited to see an amazing array of exhibition spaces from 60 countries and 43 of the then 45 American states. But nearly none of those people knew that the person behind some of the fair's most popular attractions was a woman. Missouri Historical Society public historian Amanda Clark shares the story of Florence Hayward.
In the late 19th century, Florence Hayward was living a life few women could imagine. She was a jet-setting freelance travel writer, before there were jets, supporting herself with her writing and traveling the globe. Hayward considered herself what we call a new woman, a turn-of-the-century social ideal that defined women as independent thinkers who were able to work, study, and socialize the same as men. And while she was a leader in the St. Louis arts community, she adamantly refused to be part of any collective women's movements, such as the fight for the right to vote, believing that it was up to an individual to assert equality. When she heard about the Louisiana Purchase Exposition, to be held in her hometown, she became determined to play a leadership role, specifically a role that was equal to those held by men. She intentionally set herself apart from the fair's board of lady managers, a group specifically tasked with overseeing women's activities. Florence was able to make her way into the upper levels of fair management by providing intel on a potentially shady contractor, and she was rewarded by being named a roving commissioner to European countries, and her job was to promote the fair abroad, specifically to women. In 1902, Florence left for England, and from there, she took that job into her own hands. Instead of sticking to fair promotion, she took it upon herself to negotiate some blockbuster exhibits with foreign leaders. Her two biggest gets were convincing the British royal family to loan Queen Victoria's priceless jewels and asking the Pope directly to loan major historic artifacts from the Vatican. When she got back to St. Louis, she was immediately put in charge of all historical exhibits, a job that she took from Pierre Chouteau III. Hayward was the only woman on the fair's governing board, and she insisted to be photographed alongside the men. However, even though she makes this huge impact on the fair's success, the Queen's jewels, for example, were one of the most visited attractions, she received 0 accolades from fair leadership, and she was never officially acknowledged for those contributions. Internationally, though, Florence was named to prestigious groups like the Royal Academy of Arts in London, and she was made an officer of the French Academy. When she died in 1922, her St. Louis obituary named her as one of the city's most distinguished female citizens.
To learn more about the Missouri Historical Society, visit mohistory.org.